We're going to be looking at the report from our colleague Akwesi Animeje from the Western region. And like I said earlier on, it's about the Butre Lagoon and the Ahanta West Municipality and the danger it's posing, the bridge deteriorating there is posing to the lives of the residents. Let's take a look.
So I'm here at the Butre community located within the Ahanta West district of the Western region, which happens to be a tourism attraction here in the Western region because of a fort called Fort Batterstein located in this very community. But today, our focus in this very town is the issue of the Butre bridge situated on top of the Butre Lagoon that actually adjoins the Atlantic Ocean. This very bridge, as can be seen, has become a death trap to users within the community, and not just community residents, but those within the catchment, because it has become a link to communities between along the coast. I'm told there are several resorts that are spread along the coast, and because this very bridge that was actually constructed in 2006 and has not seen any serious renovation, it is basically affecting life over here in the Butre community. So I have the assemblyman for Butre, Mr. Matthias Otu, to tell us how challenging or how worried this very dilapidated bridge has become to life over here in Butre. So what can you tell us about this bridge?
Okay, for a year, 11 July 2006, which the bridge was started to. But for that, when it collapsed, nobody has come and to repair or to maintain it. So for that, only this community use our funds, and then people in this community, they are carpenters, have small experience about that. They help to maintain it literally for the community.
And so how difficult or how worrisome has it become in using this bridge? How dangerous is it to use this bridge?
Oh, as it had become death trap because of people trading, doing business, fishing, and then the farmers. So it is very difficult to use that bridge like that unless they maintain it nicely for the community.
Have you recorded any accidents on the bridge? Looking at the way it is, have you recorded any accidents on this very bridge?
Yeah, some has happened. Maybe last 2 years, on 23rd October 2019, because of the bridge collapse, some small guy fall into the river and then he lose his life. And then maybe last only 8 months or 9 months now, some pregnant woman to fall into, and then it causes damage. So what I know is.
So as an assembly, as an assembly member for the community leading the development of this area, what effort have you actually put in getting this bridge actually fixed?
Oh, when I was in my time, I've wrote a letter, some to MC and then some to MP. So when I was in assembly, then I'm looking out whether they will come and then help us or not, but nothing has been done about.
How many times have you done reminders on these letters that you've actually sent to the assembly?
Oh, they know it. They know it. Even though MP came and then visit at times and then he promised, but nothing has been done. So they know it to come and then do something about.
So, right now as you speak, what would you say is your call to authorities in respect to this bridge that has become so, endangering to actually use?
Oh, what I can say is, as at now, you see people from Ewe Village, young, they came to school here, and then during those they are doing business, always crossing in and out. So it is very dangerous for you to use it like that. So if assembly or government come and support her, it will be likely and then comfortable for us.
Well, thank you, Mr. Assemblyman. And I must also add to this point that in 2019 we were actually here to do a first report on this bridge about how dangerous it had become. And in doing so, we actually made contact with the MP for Ahanta West, who happens to be the current Minister for Chieftaincy, Mr. Kojokun, who actually promised that he will soon look at this bridge. But for close to 2 years now, the MP hasn't actually made any effort to get this thing done, or lobbied the assembly to do that. We also actually established contact with the then DC for Ahanta West, Madam Henrietta, who also promised to actually look at it. But it seems the bridge is still at where it is, and it's even getting a bit worse, looking at the fact that it's been 2 years interval since we came here. But we have other community members that we want to actually talk to them. You live in this community. How important is this bridge to life here in Butre? Bridge.
Okay, bridge. Well, 2006. Well, 2006. Now, what year now? Work assembly. And what year man? And so what quarry no? Now it's all say and yala and you maintain. Yeah, fine. And say, oh ma Butre on the beach. Asamasa, Asamko, and Utumano. Ya for the call, also for the back. And so be so for that will be school, more famano. And after also clinic or Butre. And say on the beach. Na Asamko for Nadina, with Waba. And say, let's bridge no, all weeka. Otomotsu, a bien. Ma nipo quadamada, up and auto issue. Manor Cassie says Yari. Uncle for who are dumb beating or come for. Last year, Crampo, small boy be, or Tomo we, ya, no, yeah, as a femoha. The bridge, Uncle for Baban, interview P. Yakasa, Nazi, walk for that, Wababa was in Webby, whatever, up to now, you will be Ya ye piala, and say, Mitraha, Massa Aban, there, one more by today, ya dumb beating. Or boy, pa, one way, my bridge,
So what this gentleman is telling us is that the bridge, since its construction in 2006, hasn't actually seen any renovation, and he's also making a point that several communities along the stretch, including Asamatsa, and then Angona Beach, and several other communities, about 6 of them, all use this very bridge coming to and from Butre to either attend school or even go to farm. And they are currently pleading the government or whoever is responsible to actually come and see to the renovation or reconstruction of this very bridge. He made a point that several people have actually come here to take their concerns out there, but nothing has actually come out of all these, interviews that they've conducted, and you're hoping that this time around there will be a change. But we still want to talk to other community residents to find out from them what they also make of the dangerous state of this very Butre bridge situated on the Butre Lagoon. Mama Pacho Fro say,
"Watch your family, Boafo. If you Butre ha bridge and Wabaya man, Wabohan, papa. Yakadam Boyana, Bohan, Kanka, and the beach, more from an Wobble Screw Hano. It's a bridge, and I am Nasa, Ubukra, the better mental. No more from an Untu school, no what they fee. Damnos I have more from one Dutch and Tia Slaban there. I'm more than a Boboham bridge in Dumu. I am of one of Dutching. It's when ye am a hen.
So bridge in Busan and Crown school, no more defi,
Omonko school. With your own beach, a hand over school tea. Bridge in Uba, Untumonko school, what they fear the man. Adama home from us. Tia Slaban.
So what Madam is saying is that the bridge has been very useful to the community, Butre and other communities within the catchment. He's basically saying that whenever it collapses, at times it collapses, and then it's sort of disables students from actually coming to school. Those who come here to attend school and those who go out of the community to other places to attend school, to actually do that. And so they want the bridge to be fixed once and for all, so that it will help with the movement of students in and out of the community called Butre. And her appeal is for government to get this thing done. So these are some students who have been plying on this very dangerous bridge. We just want to find out from them on their experience in using this bridge. This is a rare case study that we're having here, having students use this bridge. Efra, so what's going?
Yoko school, Butre Primary Center, Catholic school.
Na bridge is how you saw Anna at say.
Saya fada, Obuanda was so I'm sure so buttons, Tinaya slab and only any bridge in the year and ferment. Or bill for baby, or for the one who stood there, or bed, or buttons, and Tinaya a chopper at the slab and the umbe and for front friend, or for me, may I number and now come wine wins. Lisbeth Terrier.
So Lisbeth Terrier is a pupil at the Butre Catholic Basic School, and she is also saying that it's very threatening using this bridge. It shakes when they go on it, and it's not just them. You can see these small young children who are also using this bridge, and if it should anything happen, these are kids that might not be able to swim. We know this place also is a tourism destination, and we want to find out from some of the community people, so to what extent has the state of the bridge affected tourism in this area? Uncle, what can you tell us about the tourism?
We're from Matiotu. Now, mom, bridge in Oboyan. Bridge in nature, your beach is by 5 now, Yarka tourism or Ahanta West, Butre in the leading. Go for bar. Now, what banana, so Butre bridge in nature, all your times will be into me. And I'm the only bridge in an alchemist. Now, the Quany bridge in Osa, Unya Nassau, Ward, I'm not no now. Are you? Last week, bring me on them down, Adriano Kurwari. The terminal, the man or call. Look, Naka and the Butre bridge in Anamda, or danger and Tanamada there. I have it. And the bridge, why you embrace Mukaka, you won't such a beer. Oh, Budama, none of Quany, you grow now your waba. Have you one eye in Yafa or Kobakane Chirakape, it's Banka busy. Na bridge Buddha, moon to Munko. And then will be near Pada woman with a bridge or small. Obi biara ofi Orbasana kwa beach bia anim na ha na ofa bia so ofi beach ni mu na orba ekrom bia no so beach da na ofa obi ara ode nya mbaba kwa baka na chiri franyi bia ne nya mbaba sai ana ode nya mbaba kwa baka na chiri no orba bridge ya na ofa do ba nti bridge no osomobo na mmom ye hia mboy yesra ban dombra ombrem na so obam sa obey ya me na msedam.
So what this gentleman is telling us is that the bridge has been very useful when it comes to tourism in this area. One point that he made is that tourists who have been using this have also had their own, sad, incidences. We had a tourist who actually injured his leg when he slipped on the bridge. For that matter, they want government to actually do something about this bridge, because these tourists will definitely go back and say bad things about the tourism logistics within this area. Just as we're talking, we've seen some tourists who are actually in this community definitely having to use this very bridge. And I have one of them to tell me, Chief, what's your name?
Sasha.
Sasha, which country are you coming from?
I'm coming from France.
France. So what are you in this town to do?
I'm working in the western region. I'm here for 4 days as a break.
So you're here just to look at the facilities around?
Yeah, just exploring a bit, yes.
Okay. So what have you seen so far since you came?
Stay in Bourgeois and working along the coast, exploring a bit this side as well, yeah.
Have you used this bridge yet?
Not yet. I'm planning on doing so. Yeah.
How do you feel having to use the bridge?
I hope it's gonna stand. Huh? It feels like people try to do the best, but they don't have the right support to make something very safe for them. Huh? And the current looks like it can increase quite easily. So yeah, I hope it's gonna last.
So what's your full name?
Sasha Malika.
Okay, so that's Sasha Malika. A tourist. In the catchment of this community. We just want to also talk to you. But they don't want to speak. You are taking them around. I'm sure you are a tour guide. What can you say about the state of this bridge and how it affects tourism over here?
I can't remember one time it was like falling and people have to walk through the lagoon and that was very risky and some people were drowning and then it was kind of like weird. So it would be nice if they would fix this bridge and because I think they have beaches where people come around and they have fun and it also attracts money for the community. So it's good like they fix the bridge so that it will be safe for the community also. And then, yeah.
So I mean, when tourists come here, what do they say about this bridge? If you have to take them on
Very scary. And it is not like trustful because anything can happen at any time, which is like, I mean, yeah, it's in danger. So it would be nice if they fix it. Yeah.
What's your name?
I'm Susan.
Susan.
Nanama Sam.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is Susan Nanama, who is a tour guide over here, taking some tourists within this community around. And as you can see, they are contemplating whether they can cross the bridge or not, which is basically life-threatening. But we are going to wait and see how they make it to the bridge. We're going to make it to the bridge. We're just going to wait and see if they can actually make it to the bridge. They've already told me that it looks threatening for them to climb the bridge, but we'll be just waiting to see how they will maneuver their way on the bridge. And as a country that is actually pushing to, I mean, promote our tourism, if there's a kind of bridge that people have to use, you can imagine what it will do to the state of our tourism promotion efforts. And currently they are also taking pictures. They also want to be in the heart of the experience of this bridge. And so we are looking at, I think they are making it smoothly for now, but we hope they will get to the bottom of the bridge without any incident. And so, I mean, that is the state of the Butre bridge, which has become so life-threatening and has become a channel for tourists who come here. And I'm told by tourists, tour guide over here, that it is becoming a disincentive to the attraction of tourists over here because it looks threatening. Some of them come and they experience accidents, and they want this very bridge, Butre, to be fixed. I have traders here, fishmongers here, and I just also want to find out from them, since they also trade within the area, how useful is this bridge to them?
Oh, boy, baby, I never been panel for the cool snitchy. Why? Your mother, I think I go content to any of the aqua center.
Now, experience, I want to say, who you so, I debe now bet me who you so bridge, you know, Bibiato, I mean, what to say, who you so bridge now, and to say.
And some of them, my problem, have been got 2 tomatoes to Hammer. My Mutia Tarbon, my buffum. I know I'm an uncle, why I'm a like a swatch and corner. See, but no, what when they be a.
One moment to me, the moon I'm going to call Saba.
A boy, my junior, you could snitch where became be a. The number for the Yokoyaba.
So what this lady who is a fishmonger here in Butre is telling me is that the bridge has been very useful even in its bad state, and they want it fixed. She's telling me that she's actually had an accident on the dilapidated bridge, and it was a very bad experience. And for that matter, for trade activity over here, I mean, the things that she's smoking over here, I don't think she has to sell it for these activities to actually continue in this area, for the economy of Butre to actually thrive. Government must fix this very bridge so that some of these accidents they've been recording on the bridge will be a thing of the past. But we understand we have some family relations over here who actually lost people, their relations on the bridge. And we also want to just hear from them the sad story of having to lose somebody on this bridge. But you're frozen.
If I'm good, you.
I don't know about my comfort bridge.
Your bridge, you know, Mohammed. Last year, maybe 10 years. Me no ko bush ya bay. Ana mo so my lady made them mpano. To me from pano bay na what's about France so then. Wa be bridge no.
already go bridge. No, that's also bridge and wobu. And so Yamabi train Yamapo Bano can you as into Yamanim and Yakopan Mana. If Yakopo to charge me a beefy. And she be feels of a front was by Canano, on them my friend over Bacanana, Gudiana and Wizzy. Channel Coffee Bridge and no bridge and I send it will be. And I will follow Tosun. And Tosun when that was about 6 up or 7. Yashana, Mamman, Major, I have some fear. My papa no wedding or I wouldn't you know her. Papa no boy, a man now boy. My shop of Fana, yes, I can have a friend day small 1 week. And Sana, yes, sir, Erica Bafana is in Chabez when I was say. It was a fufi, my dear, what bay was there, Sabafono. So I'm out to small there. Me and Abba Sacra, me and the Sacopam call my dear Mucasino. No, a Sabuca for you, I say no, Mutua Fanessa, and Yacomadema Quakasana, and Chayana from. Busa forward when me gentleman and a man or hano, and I don't say. There were work according to a cowdo. May take a couple of years, you are making what we are according to Busa for Beno, when you know you're sharing there. I was from the young into Majam so I was born and money now, woman, and power from a crabble. It's a mum, a folk, more Tom. About for me, Libya, Bano Gemonoro. I said, I would have one task, so I'm no one baha and come to assume. And so, when I buffer a merge necrano, Monfana Cramana, Mofam, no Sabia, who was a Cafana so and whatever. May I go for a Caramaca, Fana Cramana, Namaba, and to the Biamucom could tell you, say, I'm Copana, a front baby Obiano. I'm one a manacano, and baby Papa, Wingina, Namoso Dachamos Motiona, Yena, Yatana, or Dumadan, why you man no bridge in a day, no query. I 7 man could be on Wuno, or Cadan Cabofos and or one my bridge without no yet. Bridge member no yet, or Docada, or sir. Nakama, when you can have a far from what about Yamanaba, Bacanima. I know up in Bridgeno. I'm a friend, I will be a worker for probably, and I call so faithful, who took a coin gentleman, because I want to boy man, Ian man, and I'm say the Yoka Bear Abseba, I want to boy, Mercy, and let's say free in Yamaka Pumi, Yama, a fine Bridgeno, what to make it a Jacoina Jima free wedding, why a Bridgeno. It's a sub and there, Bridget member on yet, what order was or doctor. Now you can to my father so where you can then when you have another Jaban Bacanum, my say if you have an answer back, outside you want train. They say, I say, Yama, what we will Bridgeno. I didn't see you just search it. Yankopon and Yana Duma, a funny behind the one cannot come and find Yamana to that. And can you a dead search about the chain? Oh, a dead search about the chain. A Timudia, one more than no one more than a Bridgeno. What's your any eye? And my car and follow. Mamma and I'm on my car and follow my camera, so I have no crow, as some call, but I need out to travel. I look at Tokadi.
What this gentleman is saying is that because of the bad state of the bridge, he actually lost his 10-year-old child on the bridge who found himself actually playing on the bridge. And the bridge actually caved in. And so for 1 week, they couldn't even find the body. And the child has been hunting him since the loss of the child on this very bridge. He's also saying that they want the bridge to actually be fixed to a level that even a car can ply on the bridge to the other communities. And so that is the concern from this officer over here who is calling on the government to also fix this bridge. But we're going to the community to find out from ordinary young ladies and young guys. Madam, what's your name?
I'm Rosemary Kofi.
You live in this town. I mean, you are a young girl. I'm sure you are in school. What can you also say about life over here and how important is this bridge to life and then maybe tourism in this community?
Oh, okay. This bridge, it was constructed when I was a kid. In fact, it has really been a long time. And whenever this bridge collapses, we have to buy, instead of them buying new wood and then this thing to do it, they just use the old one to reconstruct it again. Which sometimes, I quite remember there was last 2 years Christmas, there were a lot of people who were trying to cross over to the other side of the river. And what happened was, the bridge collapsed and all fell into the river. So those who were able to swim, they survived. And those who couldn't, the water just took them away. So they all died. And sometimes the tourists who come here, sometimes when they get here, them crossing over to the other side becomes a problem for them. So all they have to do is just go back. So I'm pleading with the government to reconstruct this bridge for the betterment of this community as a whole.
You think, I mean, when tourism in this community thrives, that is, if this bridge is fixed and then tourists are attracted to the community, it will help with creation of jobs in this community?
Oh yes, it will. Because it will help a lot of people to get employed, like they taking them to the tourist sites and then other recreational places. Yes, I think it will help. So I'm begging with the government to help reconstruct this bridge.
So, I mean, basically, that is a consensus over here in Butre community in the Ahanta West district of the Western region, where because of this very dilapidated bridge on the Butre Lagoon adjoining the Atlantic Ocean, life has become so uncomfortable for residents over here. Some have actually lost relations. Some are not able to trade as they want to trade. It has actually affected school life over here. It has affected farmers who want to use this very bridge to cross over to do their farming and all that. But what I'm going to do now is to see if I can also try to climb this very bridge, which is so life-threatening, climbing it. I think I have to be a bit careful just to make sure that I don't become a victim to, I mean, the stories that I've also heard over here. This bridge looks a bit not straightforward. It's a bit maneuvering. We have portions that are flat and the portions that are a bit higher. And it's so threatening to actually use. But just to actually have a first-hand experience, I'm trying to gamble to see if I can actually make it to the high point of this bridge. Sir, how are you?
I'm fine.
Bridge, who you should be here? Bridge, no first one, who you say?
Sisi ade anya kura.
Anya on.
Sisi a wonam so na sheki.
Who kakra wom?
Hu wom pa.
Do fu say dey na twa say fa bridge yon.
I say omo bobo en ye mi. Omo bra ndade bia ye betumi di aye. Because nduan dey amboa.
But your friend say?
But your me di Amos.
Amos
Baini.
So that is Amos Baini, a regular user of this bridge, who is just telling me that it's threatening using it. I mean, it's very shaky. I can feel it, and they want some metals to be used in reconstructing this bridge. It's very dangerous. I don't think I can go any further. I want to come back. I don't want troubles. This has been the story from Butre in the Ahanta West region. The general call is that authorities must quickly look at fixing this very bridge. For City News, I am Akwesi Eje Annim, Butre in the Ahanta West district of the Western region.
So that was our colleague, Akwesi Eje Annim, giving us some insight into what's happening with the Butre Bridge. And we heard from quite a few people there. We heard from the assemblyman, from residents of the area, sharing their experiences, what that bridge means to them. People have lost their lives. It means it cuts off economic activity when it's not in good shape. Tourism is affected. We saw some tourists there as well. Annim gave us quite a good view of what's going on. What we would have loved to hear or to see, or to people we'd love to talk to, would be the people who could actually do something about this. So DC or MC, you know, where are they? Now, they did mention the MP. We know the MP's job isn't development, but perhaps that person could lobby for something to be done about this bridge. Now, the state of the bridge, I don't know, they're asking for it to be fixed.
Yeah.
Kweku, I think it needs to be demolished and totally rebuilt as something more sturdy.
Yeah.
Look at that structure.
Yeah.
How do you expect school children, traders, you know, other people who pursue economic activity, tourists? We saw the tourists who were walking on it and almost negotiating the journey over the bridge before they took the walk. How can, if somebody's sitting in Parliament House, whether it's the MP, if someone is sitting at the Ministry of Tourism, seeing this, watching this, I don't know what would prevent them from immediately rectifying the situation.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, like you said earlier, the DC, the MC, whoever is in charge of that area is responsible to make sure that thing is fixed. But our colleague Akwesi Animeje, who did the report, is actually on Zoom on standby. So, Akwesi.
Hello, David.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, you?
I'm very good, thank you. And after those heroics in attempting to cross the bridge, how do you feel?
I feel secured now because I'm not on the bridge.
I knew. Oh, goodness.
So have you been able to speak to the is it a DC or an MC in that area?
Well, I would say 2 years back, we actually managed to speak to the DC who mentioned that it was on their program and they would be looking at that. And again, as I said earlier, we also spoke to the MP then, but now the Minister for Chieftaincy, Honorable Kojokum, who at the time also said that he was going to actually fix it because he had told me that he had fixed a similar bridge somewhere within the constituency or the district, and he'll be moving to fix that. And up to date, it's been 2 years now, we haven't seen anything. Just after visiting the community, I made it all the way to the district capital, the assembly, that is at Agran Kanta, some 25 kilometers, some 13 kilometers away from that place, where I couldn't meet the new DC because he was just confirmed and he hasn't actually commenced work. So we couldn't speak to the DC, but we met the district planning officer, Malcolm, who told me that it is on their medium-term development plan to fix the bridge. But this medium-term development plan is going to kick in from 2022. And so between now and 2022, there is no program for the bridge. So we have to wait till 2022. And even that 2022 medium-term plan, it is still subject to acceptance by the Assembly when they meet. And so that is the state of things with the Assembly in terms of their preparedness or readiness to look at how best they can fix this bridge.
And okay, so obviously we know how bureaucratic sometimes local governance can be. Like you said, there are many levels of approval that have to go through before the project can be commenced or even completed. But what about the MP lobbying the Minister for Tourism? We know that they've been giving out a lot of funding to tourism, to the hospitality industry, to try to revive the industry, especially because of what happened with COVID. Isn't there a possibility that if you're an MP for this area, if you are Honorable Kojokum, if you are the DC for this area, you could lobby the tourism ministry to say, look, this is an area that attracts a lot of tourists, but this bridge or the state of it is hampering our tourism potential. Please make it a priority as you are dishing out some help and some assistance, financial assistance. Perhaps they could give a budget for this to be done.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, that is what should be done. We are looking at it in a rational way, but I mean, things don't work like that in our governance situation. For awareness, the assemblyman did mention that he's even written several letters to the assembly. And I've also made some contacts. So in terms of awareness or knowing that this problem actually exists, it is clear that they are very much aware. But the question is, what is stopping them from acting? I personally spoke to the MP for the area, who is not the chieftaincy minister, Honorable Lawyer Kojokum, and he's very much aware. He promised going to look at this issue 2 years back, and nothing has been done. So it's not like they are not aware. And so what he's saying is right. Rationally, they should be working with the tourism ministry to get this whole problem fixed, to actually aid or facilitate the movement of people who go there because of tourism. Don't forget.
In all of the conversations that you've had, have you gotten a sense at all of how much it will cost to fix the bridge or to get a new bridge? Is there an idea of the cost at all?
I am yet to actually get a cost because even if you look at the Assembly's reactions to it, it looks as if I remember asking the assemblyman. He said that it is when they are yet to actually do a budget proposal for how much it will cost. So they haven't even gotten to a point where they will know how much it will cost. So I think from the planning point of view, that is where we should be getting the cost. But since it is still at the preparatory level in terms of discussions around how to fix it and when to fix it, we'll have to wait a bit before we can get the specifics as to the likely cost.
Yeah, it seems to me, considering everything we talked about so far, that the people just don't care. They really don't care. 15 years, this bridge has been there in this state. Okay, this is not a bridge that people should be using in 2021 anywhere. Okay, let alone between communities across a lagoon. It makes no sense. It sounds like your people don't care.
That is it. I mean, you've well put it, because I mean, we have incidences of people even losing their lives.
Yeah.
And so if it must be planned with some kind of agency. It must be treated as an emergency situation, because we need to save lives. And if what I'm hearing or what I'm being told is that there's a plan to look at it in 2022, it tells you that people don't really care, they are not committed to it, or they don't see it as any matter to be treated with urgency.
Yeah. So let us. What is it that you've planned? If you have anything planned, by way of who else to contact, where can we put the pressure on? Where are the other pressure points that we can apply to get government and the structures that be, the powers that be, to move and get something done?
Well, the Assembly has not spoken. So for the Assembly, this is the level they are moving. I think we have to make a contact, go back to the MP again to see what will be his reaction now. The tourism authority must also be interested in this, because this is a community that hosts one of the colonial relics, that is
Fort Battenstein.
Battenstein, built in 1664 by the Dutch. And if you get to the hill, I mean the top of the hill, and you take a look, the view is so beautiful that anybody wanting to have a beautiful view from a hilltop would want to visit there. And even with that facility, the access to climb up is also another challenge. There are no handrails, there are no steps, and it looks slippery, even climbing to the fort. So the tourism authority, if they really want to promote our tourism, must be interested in fixing this bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Speaking of tourism, I think that this is probably let's focus on that for a minute. The Western region basically is got some of the most beautiful and is most visited by tourists of most of the places in Ghana. Where exactly, can you give us a sense of a picture of where exactly this is situated in relation to, let's say, Takoradi?
Well, this Butre is situated not far from Takoradi. We're looking at about 25 kilometers from Takoradi.
Okay.
And so from Takoradi, you drive on the Takwa Road all the way to Agunan Kwanta.
Okay.
And then on the Agunan Kwanta, there's a roundabout. You take to your left. As if when you take it to your left, you are on the Buja Beach.
Okay.
Beach Resort Road.
Okay.
You drive about 10 kilometers into the Buja Beach Resort. Then you branch off. If you get it, there is a T junction with one going to Buja, one going to Disco.
Okay.
And on your left, you branch into Butre. And so there's a catchment of, tourism attraction. We have the Buja Beach, which is, nationally acclaimed as one of the tourist attraction. The tourist in the video did mention that he's even staying there. And so it's very strategic in terms of, if it is fixed, tourists coming to Takoradi, they wouldn't have to travel far to visit such a place. And so it's very potential tourist attraction if the tourism authority can look at how best they can work with the local assembly, the regional minister, and the MP to get this whole bridge fixed.
All right, Agusi, thank you so much. That's a fantastic report you did there. We really appreciate it. To bring this to light for the rest of the country to see what's happening, we really appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, so, Kokui,
Kweku,
yeah.
You know what breaks my heart about this? The residents of this area are not asking for much.
No.
They're just asking not to die while crossing the lagoon. Like, that's simply what it is. And it benefits the country for this to be repaired and even, in fact, demolished and rebuilt properly. I can't understand. As you said, they just don't care.
Yeah, it has to be rebuilt.
Loss of life is not enough. Tourism potential is not enough. Economic livelihood is not enough. Education, you see the students who need to cross it, is not enough. So
and there's communities that are coming to school on this side, so they need to cross every day. They go and they come, they go and they come. So it's
beggars
completely
belief,
unacceptable
honestly.
that people should be talking about, oh, it's in our plans for the future. It's already too late, so why are you not doing it now? Why are you still got it as a future plan? If you really cared. I mean, of course, if you don't care, then it's a different conversation altogether.
Well, 2022 is 3 months away, so let's see what happens.
But you notice what Akwesi said? He said that even the 2022,
that one
is now something they are coming to come and
they don't even know how
about.
much the thing's going to cost,
No,
though, which
at
means
all.
2 years ago when he spoke to them, they haven't done any work to actually find out the extent of the project, what it will cost. I'm sure nobody has spoken to any kind of contractor, nothing.
They don't care.
Okay.
That's the whole point.
You've summed it up, actually.
If they cared,
what's
we
a
would
shame.
know.
Well, all we can do is highlight the issue, right? And hope that the people who actually can fix this will see this, hear this, do something about it, okay, and to influence change.